Welcome back to another tutorial with Scratch Crafted Meals. Today we have a Starry Sky Lemon Blueberry Focaccia inspired by the Starry Nights by Van Gogh painting. This was absolutely divine, and I really hope that you guys like it. Let's get into it. So we'll take a large bowl, add in our yeast, warm water that does not go above 115 degrees, which you will see me check my water. And then you want to put sugar in there as well, and then let it sit for 5 minutes until it gets foamy. Everything is foamy. It looks great. This is exactly what you're looking for. Now we're going to add our flour, our salt, lemon zest, and olive oil. Once I have all of those mixed in, I'm just going to take a spatula and mix all of that together until I have a sticky dough. So I cover and let it rest for about 10 minutes, and then I start on my stretch and folds. Now you'll see me mixing this a little bit here, and that is because there were a lot of crumbs in the bottom of the bowl, and I wanted them to get incorporated. So as you see me stretch, turn the bowl, take my dough again, stretch, and then I'll fold it again, and I'll just turn it to all four sides as I stretch, fold it over, and then I'm going to cover it again and let it rise for 90 minutes until it's doubled in size. Okay, so while that's rising, I'm gonna go ahead and work on my blueberry swirl. And this is just something I'm making for with my family. It isn't something I was making for a customer or anything like that. So I let my daughter help. She wanted to pour the blueberries, and I just took out a stem from one of the blueberries. So that's what you see putting to the side. And then I added in some sugar, lemon juice, and then eventually some cornstarch to kind of thicken the compost. And then I'm just gonna bring it to a simmer and cook it for about 6 to 8 minutes until it's thick. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla. I love Mexican vanilla. It just really enhances the flavor to me versus regular vanilla. So I'm just going to not really measure it, just kind of put in the amount that I think would be good. So feel free to use the measurements that I added to my blog. But when it comes to vanilla, I kind of measure with my heart. So I put the blueberry compost to the side to cool, and then now I am taking out my focaccia, and now this is where I made a huge mistake. Okay, so in the midst of recording and trying to make sure that I get every step, I did not realize that I did not put any oil in the pan. This is focaccia, it's very oily. I forgot to put the oil in the pan before I put the bread, the dough inside of my glass pan. So please do not do that, but if you do, it is okay. Later in the video, I'm going to show you how I fixed it when I realized what mistake I made. So here I am just pressing the focaccia into my pan. I just kind of want to see if it's going to resist stretching to the corners, and it did. So I just had to let it rest for 10 more minutes, and then after it rested, as you can see, it was much easier to push into the corners and do kind of dimple them with my fingers. So feel free to do the same thing if yours also resists. And then now that my blueberry compost has cooled, I can spread it over the dough with a spoon and just kind of, give off that starry sky that we are trying to imitate in focaccia form. And then once you kind of spread everything out, what I did, I had a couple of extra blueberries, so I did use those on top to give a little bit more texture. And then you just want to cover that for about 30 to 40 minutes once you have completed this step. So after it has sat for the 30 to 40 minutes, you want to take some olive oil and then pour it all over your focaccia. I think this is about this time I realized that I hadn't put any olive oil down in the first place. So this is how I fixed it. So unfortunately, I messed up how it originally looked, with the blueberries on top and the placement that I had it in. But that's okay. It still came out delicious. So it did not get ruined. I just had to kind of move things around and make sure that I got that focaccia under, so it does not stick and the dough gets that. Okay, so here I am browning my butter for our brown butter icing, and you just put in the butter into the skillet, and you want to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't burn. And when it starts to smell a little bit nutty and it has a pretty golden look, just take it off and let it cool. So here I have my cooled brown butter, and it's slightly cooled, not fully cooled. So I took out some powdered sugar and I'm just measuring it here, and then you'll see me add it into the bowl with my browned, slightly cooled butter. Alongside that, for the brown butter version, I just add in also some lemon juice, and I am not measuring that. I'm just putting in how much I think would be good for it. But again, feel free to follow the recipe exactly if you would like. And I'm going to add my powdered sugar in there, my Mexican vanilla, a pinch of salt, and whisk it. So I'm just whisking it to get the consistency that I like, and once it's kind of pourable, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it and pour it over top of my focaccia. Now, how you ice it is completely up to you. As I said before, this was just for my family. We were just wanting to eat this right after dinner, so I didn't put much work into presenting the icing. But if you are doing this for, some special occasion, then you definitely want to do the icing better than how I did it here. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's delicious. The brown butter version of this icing just takes it to a whole nother level. It was absolutely amazing. My family devoured this. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is a very easy bread, very beginner friendly, and it's just fun and it tastes great. So I hope you guys enjoy this and you try it. If you do, please let me know. I would love to hear how it worked out for you.